Alright, I think we're up and running. Good morning, guys. How are you doing? Let's see. Let me catch up and open up everything that needs to be opened up here. See, Eric, Walkman, Progressive, back. Good morning, guys. Thank you for joining first thing on a Saturday morning of all things. It is September 30th. There we go. Yep, September 30th. It is the last day of the Warlock race, so thank you for everyone who's been participating this month. It's been a lot of fun. We've actually made, I think we had over 50 participants at the end of the day. But as per normal, let's go ahead and actually knock out the Ironman rules. So if you're new to the channel or you haven't done the Ironman challenge before, the rules will be the following. So number 1 is no dying, no gear above white quality, no gear enchants, no talents, no potions, no flasks, no elixirs, no hellstones, no joining groups or raids, no killing dungeon or raid bosses, no XP boosting activity, no pet battle leveling, no battlegrounds, no bodyguards, and no professions except for first aid. I'm going to catch back up with chat just a little bit. And Vec was saying, sorry I missed the last few episodes. Not a problem, Vec. Real life, I know how that goes, so not a problem. I actually missed 2 days this week due to being sick, so it happens. Walkman says, considering the last day I'm going to work on my Warlock, it's long overdue. Very nice, Walkman. I've actually, for those who haven't been watching, I've died 3 times as a Warlock. So this is our 4th attempt. Since we are level 40, I'm going to pour this down as we enter the world here. Since we are level 40, I think we're going to keep going with the Warlock until we either make it to 110 or until we die. But going into next month, you know, after we make it to 110, we'll just say after we make it to 110, we will be switching back to the hunter and then going from there. I'm going to cut this down since we can't have any talents. I did make a macro, so I'm kind of curious if it works here. I want to make a hellstone. Looks like everything's set up here for the most part. And let's see if this actually works. That's not what I wanted. Okay, I think that worked. Yeah, we're good. Okay, so I'll set this over here now. We have Stoneform macroed into the Hellstone usage, and that should make that a lot more useful. I think that's what hurt me a little bit last time we died, actually, so I think that's set up. We are level 40. I'm hoping we can get out of Fairless today, as well as maybe make it to level 44, 45. Just have to start heading west, and then I think we're going to start out with interrupting Cho'Gall's sermon here. So we'll make our way that direction. And Progressive says, trying out the newest iPad with the unlimited choice plan to see if the streaming quality looks good. May keep it. Very nice. You know, I've never really gotten into the iPad usage all that much. We use laptops pretty heavily when I was at college, of course, but for the iPad usage, never really got too far into it. Honestly, for a lot of your, I guess, engineering courses and whatnot, the iPad and the Mac laptop had a pretty limited usage. A lot of your technical software really doesn't run that well on your, you know, what do you want to call it? iPad, iLaptop. What do they call it? I don't know, the Apple products. We'll just keep it as Apple products in general. But yeah, a lot of your higher end software doesn't really work on all that. We kind of call it a glorified Facebook machine, but yeah, we had a hard time getting, especially your 3D CAD software. That stuff didn't work all that well. Alright, so we do have our Hellstone. We are good to go here. Pets on defensive, so I think we're good to go. Jeff says, morning guys. iPad, dude. No, not the iPad, the laptop. Because the iPad, yeah, definitely won't work in a, you know, in a 3D CAD software system. But their laptops also didn't really hold up all that well. MacBook Pro, take your pick. Maybe so. Not a fan of it, personally. All right, so with that, let's go ahead and sneak in here. I did end up sneaking out yesterday and seeing the Kingsman. It wasn't too bad. It was alright. I would say it's maybe along the level of what do we call it? Mission Impossible? That's what it seemed like to me for the most part. Chris says, I got it for watching streaming video and watching movies at work. Very nice. They, you know, in all fairness, the Apple products, especially their phones, tend to have better cameras though, in regards to better cameras and better screens in comparison to the, what do you want to call it, the Android platforms. From what I've experienced anyway. So let's go ahead and blow that up. Paradin says, morning Q. Hope you're well. Good morning, Paradin. How was your week abroad? Alright, so I think we need to go straight into this area over here. The idea is to move as quickly as we've been going. I think we've been leveling pretty well. I don't think I did a slash plate at level once we hit level 40, so I'll do that now. So it took us about 13 hours and 47 minutes to hit level 40. So that's not too bad. I don't think that's too bad, I guess. Nothing compared to, what do you call, Xantric, but that's not too bad. So 40, we'll call that 13 hours and 47 minutes. He's going to hit me with a spell here. 13 hours, 47 minutes. But like I said, today is the last day of the Warlock Ironman challenge, so I'm kind of looking forward to getting back to the Hunter once we eventually do. So let's go ahead and nuke this guy real quick. Like I said, I had a Samsung tablet before and disposed it out of the country. Yeah, I could imagine that. Well, you know what, I take that back. I have Samsung monitors, and those have always been nice, but I guess, you know, phones and monitors are completely two different beasts, but I haven't had any issue with my monitors. I think we go through this direction. See if we can sneak by it without this dog seeing us. Nice. Alright, so with that, and I think we can, that's odd. I was going to say, normally we don't see these guys patrolling around, but I guess it's, it was a little late in the phasing. Jennifer says, I met my goal and got my lock to level 20. Never, alright, wait, I'm going to run her a bit and see how far I can get with her today, though. Very nice, Jennifer. How are you liking it so far? Which spec did you go? Did you go Affliction? I've been kind of meaning to go Demonology, but I keep having a hard time pulling myself from the Destruction spec. It's just a ton of fun, especially with the Chaos Bolt. It's starting to get to where the Chaos Bolt's not hitting at a consistent, or one-shotting at a consistent rate, but still, it hits like a truck. So I'm going to get as close as I can to activate this without killing myself. All right, perfect. Paradin says, Italy was great, thanks. Very productive, a lot of fun. Congrats on level 40. Faster riding, here you come. Yes. And you know what? We did not do that, actually. That's funny. Alright. Well, guess what, guys? We're going to be getting to know each other a little bit better on the flight to Darnassus. I'll hearth back, but, yeah, it's... I did not do the invitation. I thought I had knocked everything out when I got my macro finally set up, but I did not do that. Damn it. Alright. Well, we know what to do now. We'll head back. After we knock out this quest, we'll fly back, talk about all the different things coming up in Warcraft, and then we'll hearth back to our questing. I cannot believe I forgot to do that. That's insane. Alright. So let's see if we can knock out a... He doesn't hit too hard. Like, he didn't even break our shield at that point. Alright. The whirlwind actually hurt. Alright, so let's blow this guy up. For this one, I don't know if you can mess this whole process up too much and kill yourself outside of, you know, letting these guys whittle your health down, but yeah, for the most part, it's pretty straightforward, and as long as you don't sit there in the fire, I think this is a relatively safe quest. It's just a little nerve-wracking the first time you go through it. You think you're going to die. Jennifer says she's Destro. Oops. Oh, okay. She's Destro. I enjoy the big booms and the flames. Yeah, me too, Jennifer. I pretty addicted to the Chaos Bolt here. I try to I've gotten pretty good at opening up whenever I what do you want to call it? Whenever I start combat here. This guy's got a long cast going on, and then they get interrupted. And at this point, as soon as we break out, we'll just open up with a Chaos Bolt and see if we can get this going. You can reset it if you get too far away, so I'm going to try to stay semi-close. So I'm not enough to kill myself, but semi-close. And then Diego says, "Rip, first Ironman challenge done, down to level 7. Understandable. There's been a lot of deaths below. Oops, let's get out of that. There's been a lot of deaths below level 20, or I would say even 10, to be honest, in this challenge. I think a lot of people underestimated the difficulty of it initially, and you know, it's something that you it's much tougher in those early levels, in my opinion, especially if you're a caster class. You don't have as many of the get out of jail free spells, and yeah, we're good here. Can we mount up? Oh, we can. You know, you don't have a lot of the spells where you can say Ice Block if you're a mage, or Blink. Plus, in those early levels, you tend to run out of mana a lot faster, especially if you're trying to pull, you know, on a consistent and quick basis. But Hunter seems to get a lot of their utilities early on. Diago says Morgans are hard, man. In all fairness, they are a little bit hard. I did the Worgen once, got out of Goneus. I kind of had chat help me a little bit, just because, you know, there was stuff I didn't know about the process, and you know, everyone was kind enough to kind of give me a heads up when I was coming up with something dangerous. But yeah, I only did it once. It wasn't something I would do. I don't know if I'd do that again or not. It wasn't bad, but it just wasn't the most fun I've had in the starting zone. Jennifer says, I'm at the point where in Darkshore, oops, let's see if we can skip this guy. I'm at the point in Darkshore where I have to rescue the dragon from the cave, so wish me luck and make it out alive. That one's, it's a cave, so it does have that aspect of being difficult, as all caves do, but it's fairly straight, so you can utilize your 40 yards, plus, as long as you kill the little priest pet looking things, aberrations, I think, you should be alright for the most part. Should be. Might have jinxed you. Alright, so since I didn't get the level 40 speed, 100% speed mount training, we're going to turn this quest in, run to the nearest flight path, which is going to be all of about 10 feet away, and then fly to Darnassus, and then we'll hearth back, so we'll cut our travel time in half. Paradin, already checked in for my flight tomorrow morning, heading your way queue. Alright, Paradin, how's the food been treating you? Oh, look at that. So we'll go ahead and siphon some health off. Oh, no, we'll one-shot him, okay. We'll siphon the health off the next mob. Oh, it says, hey, I got to level 35 on the challenge, but I just couldn't find an enemy to delete my lock. Not a problem, Walkman. It's hard sometimes, especially when you get to your higher levels. And I still haven't deleted my level 85 or 70, I want to say 77 Hunter that I've died yet. I need to, just so I can have room to make another one, but I haven't done it yet. I haven't had the heart to delete those. Let's go ahead and turn this in real quick. All it says, I hated the working zone for the first time. It was much more tolerable. The second time, knowledge makes it smoother. That might be a good point, only because, yeah, the first time through, I was just like, felt like everything was going to potentially one-shot me, but you might have a good point there, actually. Alright, so with that, let's see, how much backspace do we have? Not much. Not much at all. Let's actually sell stuff, and then we'll jump up on the flight path and head to Darnassus. This will be good. Hopefully, if I remember, I will throw in a bunch of these items into my bank. That way I don't have to worry about it carrying them throughout today's stream. But as per normal, just going to go through and see if we can actually, if we were lucky enough to get any sort of transmog items. We haven't been getting too many drops, to be honest. Alright, so with that, kind of setting everything aside here. We have interlaced shoulder pads. Those are not going to match our transmog, which is really important for the Ironman challenge. So with that, we'll go ahead and find one equip. Nice. That's leather. That's not going to help us. Got a lot of guns though. I mean, actually we've gotten a ton of guns throughout the levels here recently. Alright, so let's go ahead and... Oh, those are nice. Those might sell well. Huh. Alright, so with that... I think these are the same shoulders. Yes, they are. So we'll get rid of those, and off to Darnassus we go. So with that being said, since we're flying, I'll put the rules up just so they're up there. For those who are new to the channel, the rules are on your right. There's kind of a rough outline of the rules, but if you want more details, those are in the description as well. Only says Thermal also has a riding trainer, though I don't think you get a faction discount. That's not quite what I had in mind when I hit the M key. Alright, so let's see. Yeah, the only problem with Theramore is I think it would take me quite a bit to get over there. That would involve running all the way through, what do you want to call it? The Barrens. That might be pretty tough. Conspiracy says, hello all. What's everyone? Good morning, Conspiracy. How are you doing? Welcome back. So are you at level 83 since it's the last day? Just kind of get an idea of where you're at. Let me put this down. You're just, at this point, you're just knocking out dailies, right? Parent says, the food in Italy was very good. Had spaghetti. Pizza. Went to the Lebanese restaurant too. The spaghetti was incredible though. So thick and creamy. Really, very nice. And then Red Robin next in the US. Yeah, I think when we go out of town, we've put Red Robin on the top of our list. Excuse me. But, yeah, it's nowhere within like a 2 or 3 hour radius of us, so couldn't find too much justification in driving that far for I wouldn't say a chain restaurant, but you know, it's Red Robin. You know, I don't know. I don't know if there's too many instances where I drive 2 or 3 hours just for a meal. Maybe if I was hungry enough, obviously. Conspiracy says, so are you from Italy or the US, Paradin? I think Paradin's on a business trip, if I remember correctly. Only says, don't have the heirloom toys for the flight pass, still parked at 83. Very nice. So yeah, I think for those that are curious, I think Only's got probably a lot of the actual what do you want to call it? Prizes? Or I think Keithy might be only doing 1 prize per person. I'm not sure how he's doing that now. But yeah, I think 83 is the top level that I've seen, and then we've had about 5 or 6 people make it up to level 60. So over the course of the month, I think it's what do you want to call it? It's been noted that it's a pretty pretty challenging challenge, going from even 1 to 60 with the Ironman challenge. It would be interesting to see how well it does, or how well we could do if we were doing this on legacy servers, though. It only says 1 prize per... Okay, so it is 1 prize per person. I got you. I think I was looking on Discord earlier. And let's see. Yeah, Keithy says the prizes will be sorted tomorrow, so if you're going to push hard today... Oh, so you push hard today to get the final attempt. So yeah, like I said, it is September 30th, so today is the final day if you're interested in knocking out the rest of the Ironman challenge for the Warlocks, but I think for the most part everything's set in stone. Unless Xantric comes out and does a 24-hour stream. Yago says Troll Monk next. But yeah, you know, I think we're gonna do I think I might mix it up just so that once we get the Hunter up to 110, we'll switch over to the Horde side and see how far we can go. So I don't know. Previously I've been debating, you know, do the Hunter on the Alliance side and do a melee class on the Alliance side, but honestly I might switch it up and just try to do a Horde on the Eastern Kingdoms. I think that would be pretty fun actually. Conspiracy says, just an honest question, who watches Rick and Morty? I have not. I've never seen a single episode of the Rick and Morty. I'm going to put the rules down just so it looks more scenic here, I guess. But yeah, no, I've heard a good bit. I've seen a couple posts for it on Reddit, but never been able to sit down and watch it. Never had a chance to. It says, I watched Rick and Morty. Good show? Average? Like, I guess, what do you compare it to? Yeah, I see a lot of references to the series, but I've, like I said, never actually sat down and watched the show. Conspiracy says it is very funny, like more so than say what Family Guy or The Simpsons, or is it kind of a totally different type of humor? I actually enjoy Family Guy. I've never really gotten into Simpsons all too much. It's not bad by any means, but just never you know, watched the whole season or anything like that. I've kind of seen episodes here and there, but nothing major by any means. Family Guy I've seen a good bit of. That one's actually pretty funny. Alright, so let's go ahead and set this aside over here. But yeah, like I said, I did watch what was it, The Kingsman the other day, or yesterday. It was pretty good. It wasn't bad at all as far as the effects. I kind of saw it being really similar to the Mission Impossible series. I haven't seen the latest or last one or two Mission Impossibles, but it, you know, it kind of reminded me of that to a certain extent. It says it's hard to explain if you haven't got. It's basically a super smart drunk guy who has family and does science stuff. I might have to see if I can break down. We've been recently binge watching The Office, so pretty much catching up on all those episodes. We've managed to make it into, what is it, season 3, and all of about a week. So probably watching way more than we should at a way faster rate, but I've enjoyed that quite a bit. Those are not rare, so just normal fish. Jordan says, oh, what's up guys? Good morning Jordan, how are you doing? Welcome back. How's your week been? Woman says, I like Stephen Hawking. And Conspiracy says, I mean, on a scale, Family Guy and Rick and Morty are about the same. Level of humor, just Rick and Morty is more sci-fi. Alright. Yeah, I'll have to I might try to look into that maybe this weekend. I probably will get caught up in another binge episode watching of what do you want to call that? The show we've been watching. Alright, so we are there used to be an add-on where you could get a timer for your flight paths, but the last time I downloaded it, all the times were off. I think it hadn't updated since Cataclysm. So yeah, all the times were off, but hopefully we're not going to have to necessarily fly all the way back. We can actually just hearth back. So that'll be kind of nice. What says, is Steve Carell still in the office in the US? Yeah, I think the actual seasons have ended now. I want to say there's 9 seasons in total. So, if he does leave for any point in time, we haven't made it up to that point in time. But as of season 3, he's still in the series. And then George says, "I'm all good, man. I bought a FIFA 18 and refunded as I realized they're all the same. Use the money to 100 boost the Warlock." Very nice. Very nice indeed. We did if you do recruit a friend, you get a free one, not a free 110, a free 100. So that's kind of what we've been doing on our end to a certain extent. I think that ran out a day or two ago, but we did manage to get 2 or 3 characters up to level 90. But yeah, I've never gotten into the sports game. My brother is really big into these, you know, the American football. For all those who, I know if I say football, everyone's going to think soccer, but no, the American football games. But yeah, I've never really been able to get into those, the sports games anyway, especially the slower ones like your baseball or your tennis. The closest I've gotten to golf was, I think I played Mario Golf way back when that was a thing. Alright, so with that, first we're going to throw these things in the bank real quick. That way we don't have to worry about carrying them around everywhere. We are sitting comfortably at about 950 gold, so the mount training is pretty much a done deal for us. Normally I've been tempted to purchase, there we go. Yeah, I've been tempted to purchase, actually set that aside, hexweave bags, you know, as we get more and more gold, but every time that I've even remotely come across the idea of buying them, oh, that's a knapsack, there we go. We've died, so I've kind of opted not to do that, just because I'd hate to invest, you know, X amount of gold, especially if it's a significant amount, such as, you know, 2,000 gold per bag, which is not too far out of our price range, to be honest. Let me go ahead and grab this. I want to buy a stack of Goblin Gliders as well, actually. But yeah, usually by the time we're about level 80, 85, maybe sometimes before then, we're pushing about 10k gold, so we can sit there and buy hexweave bags if we really wanted to. But that's a pretty significant not achievement, but gold investment. But we are going to buy Goblin Gliders while we are here, if I can speak. Still early in the morning, evidently. But the 100% speed riding is kind of nice at this point. Yuri says, I started reading Game of Thrones since that debut, and it's been really good book so far. Really, I'm gonna have to do that here pretty soon. I have a study session today, so I'll be doing that. As it is right now, I'm a little strapped for time, but let's see if we can at least buy a stack here. If it's not too incredibly nice. So I'm gonna put up 96 stacks of single Goblin Gliders. Fortunately, we have an add-on that speeds us through this, so we'll buy about that many, however many that was. And our gold is sitting at about 700, so that's not too bad. And we'll go ahead and empty out this. Only says, if you just dabble in sports game, buy them used. Plenty of used copies get traded in. That's actually a really good point. If there's anything that gets used and recycled, it's the sports games. They're relatively cheap too. Alright, so we are going to open up the clam. We're good here. We have all of the Goblin Gliders that we need. For some reason I decided to buy 22. And there we go. So with that, close that out. Hearth back. And we'll be about our business today. Let's see. George says, I'm much more of an MMO nerd. You know, I kind of am too. I do like the sandbox aspect of the MMOs, where you kind of just run around and explore as you run around. But let's go ahead and... Which way do we need to go? This way. I don't know. I used to play the first-person shooters a little bit. Kind of gotten disenchanted with that, so we're gonna fly. We're gonna run to the new questing area. But yeah, the last first-person shooter I played was Halo. I played Halo or Halo 2. I can't remember which one it was, but yeah, it wasn't bad. But you started to get a massive skill set difference. You know, you would have guys that could spin around and you know, what do you want to call that? Sniper you from halfway across the range without using the scope. So I was like, you know what, I think I'm done. And then, you know, right about that time, I started playing Warcraft, and that was about it. That's about where I stopped. So since it is a new day, we're back in Fearless, we might come across our rare once again. So hopefully that'll fill up our bags with more junk. And see if we can find the black bear. Most of these bears are a grayish color. The rare spawn is actually more of a black color, so just trying to take a quick look around. Not going to spend too much time. Iku says, good afternoon everybody. What's going on, Iku? Welcome back. How's your day going? We are pretty much, yeah, I'd say about 20% into level 40 at the moment. Jennifer says, that's what I enjoy about Ark Survival Evolved. Honestly, it's a non-linear aspect of it. That and Subnautica. I haven't played either one of those, but yeah, I kind of like those types of games where there's not really a single set of objective, I guess. That's one of the reasons I like Warcraft and the loot system. I know a lot of people don't really care for the RNG aspect of it. There he is. Nice. The reason I think the RNG is a good thing is because it gives people who've, in theory, gotten the best gear in the game, you know, whoa, okay, take care of this guy, gives them something else to do as well. You know, I think if you play Warcraft as a, I don't know, with a completionist attitude, it's maybe the wrong approach. Everyone kind of plays and has their own play style, but I think them adding the capability for your gear to always proc higher or, you know, completely max out just adds an element of what Warcraft is, where you can, you know, continuously do content and have a reason to do it. You know, a lot of people back in previous expansions, once they had the best gear in the game, that was it. You know, they're done. Unless they want to do something like achievements or, you know, just the continuous grind of enjoying the content. But as far as a reason, a lot of people didn't have that in previous expansions. So I don't know, I kind of like the way the game is now. People have very contradicting opinions when it comes to RNG, but I'm kind of one of those ones that, as long as it's balanced with the player's time investment in the back of their minds, it's not a bad system. It does kind of give you a continuous loop of, what do you want to call it, content. So that's kind of my thoughts on RNG and the application of that. Sometimes you can get too much, I do agree, but I don't know, I think there is an element of it needed, especially for those players who are on the cutting edge and trying to get the best gear in the game and whatnot. But with that, let's go ahead and we need to, I don't think these drop 100%. I don't think they do. They didn't last time anyway. But we need to get 6 of the soul essences and then 6 pieces of glowing soil. Honestly, the glowing soil can sometimes be the harder one to find between the two. But we are 3 for 3 for soul essence, so that's not bad. Alright, so with that, we're good here. And knock that guy out. But yeah, as far as, I don't know. It might be something. What do you guys think as far as RNG goes? Because it does have a pretty, like I said, contradicting opinion. So I'm kind of curious to hear if there's a, what do you want to call it, a negative feature to the RNG without the fact that are excluding the capability if you know, if the RNG isn't balanced with time. I still don't believe it is when it comes to PvP, but that's just kind of my opinion. Alright, so with that, oh, speaking of, well, it actually has nothing to do with RNG, but I did learn the other day that the reason we didn't get the transmog gear from the Brewfest event is, okay, so if, let's say if I have an alt mage and I did the Brewfest event on the alt mage, purchased the gear, and then logged off, what's going to happen is that it's going to be a, what do you want to call it, it's going to add it to the transmog closet on the mage only as long as there's the opportunity to, what do you want to call it, sell it back. So in other words, if I buy it on the mage and then log off without destroying it, or I think that's about the only way you can get outside the refund, the 2-hour refund ability. So let's say it costs 200 Brewfest tokens for a chest piece. If I don't sell it back, or if I don't destroy it, I just buy it and then log off, it's not going to be available on my Warlock or my Priest. Or I think the holiday stuff is independent of proficiency. I think if you, for the most part, if you purchase something like a chest piece or some, you know, along those lines from the Brewfest event, it's not going to matter if you're wearing plate or cloth. But at any rate, it didn't become available to us until we destroyed it, if that makes any sense. So I did want to go back and say that, because previously I said that the transmog stuff didn't apply across all your characters, but that is incorrect. We have everything we need here. We'll have to come back to this tree to summon the named mob, but I did want to go ahead and address that before I forgot, because I did state that incorrectly about a day or two ago, I believe. Jennifer says RNG hates me, but it's part and parcel. Yeah, like I said, I've had a little bit of bad luck run myself, Jennifer, with the shoulders. I've been trying to get shoulders to drop that are higher than level 915, and I think I've bought about 6 so far, and I cannot get anything to proc above 915. Alright, so with that, we'll run over here real quick and summon this guy. He just says, I bought it on my Gnome DK and it was able to use it on my Panda Priest. Yeah, so now that I've discovered that and fully understand how it works now, I'm about a week behind in collecting all my transmog, so I will try to be doing that this afternoon, I think, once I get back from my study group. But let's see, let's go ahead and kill this guy over here. Alright, do that. And we'll line him up with a Chaos Bolt. But yeah, once we discovered that, I think it was last night, I was like, oh man, I gotta let everybody know I said that wrong. Alright, so with that, we're good here. We'll turn this in, and then we'll go pick up the final fight. Yeah, the final fight path in Fairless. Fabio says, hello Kuhn, hello guys, what's going on, Fabio? Welcome back to the stream. How's your morning going? I think it's afternoon. No, it's still morning for you, I think. You were South America, right? Alright, so with that, we're good here. Turn this in. I think it's going to have us go back to where we just came from. But we don't need to worry about that quite yet. We'll go ahead and continue this way. Because I think once we're done over here, we have a quest to turn in right here. Plus, we need to grab that fight path anyway. And so with that, I think due to the flying to Darnassus and back, it is taking us a little bit longer to hit 41. I suspect by the end of this stream, we'll probably be in the neighborhood of 43, 44. And we'll just continue with the Warlock until we hit 110. I'm not going to say until we die. We're going to continue with the Warlock until we hit 110. And then once we do, switch back to the Hunter and hopefully knock out the leveling. It says Portuguese cutes. Oh, that's right, Fabio. That's right. Okay, so it's almost probably noontime for you, right? It's 11:46. Oh, very nice. Alright, so there we go. Let's go ahead and nuke this one. Alright, so with that, alright, and this guy can hit pretty hard. He's actually putting Sam down about to 50% just about. That we're good there. And there is a rare bug that pops up over here. It's indicated by this orange area. It's not too much of a good time investment to, you know, run around and hunt him out, because I think he can run around inside within the tunnels and just make it pretty difficult to find him, especially considering if, you know, someone may have already come by and killed him. So you know, you could be kind of spinning your wheels for a long time. Haza says, how you doing, King? Good morning, Haza. How are you? Welcome back. So with that, yeah, something I was I know it's not Portugal, but it is Spain, I believe. Spain is looking at having a pretty decent section trying to annex themselves from Spain. Is that still the case, or is... I think I heard about that earlier this week, and haven't heard too much about it since. You know, those things just aren't something that's typically in American media, so I haven't heard anything outside of I forget what the relatively smaller area of Spain wanting to annex themselves. Alright, so with that, we're going to see if we can rally these giants here with a larger horn. There we go. Yeah, I think we have to kill the troll guys as well. We might as well, or not trolls, but gnolls. So we'll go ahead and knock that out real quick. And Fabio says, Cataluna problem? Yes, that's it. I've only heard a little bit about it, but I've heard it's getting a little bit of traction over there, so things like that kind of pop up in the United States, but not all too much. Nobody really takes it all too serious, to be honest. Haza says, I'm great, thanks. Very nice, Haza. Glad to hear it. And Bobby says, what time is it there? 6:48? Yes, sir. It is. That is Eastern Standard Time at the moment. So it's normally for me. It's I try to get up early, even when I don't stream. I do try to get up early, just because if I don't, a lot of times I get a headache for some odd reason. Jennifer says, just thought of this. I've themed my panda around Brewfest. Yeah, she has the dress. As her transmog, she rides the Brewfest Ram. And, you know, that's funny you say that, Jennifer, because the girlfriend's doing just about the exact same thing. I think she has a Kodo for her her panda. But, yep. She's like, she was telling me the other day, it's like, the only thing she likes the Brewfest transmog on is her monk. So, that's kind of neat that you two are on the same page there. Andrea says, just go Barca. I have no idea what that means. Fabio says, there will be a referendum tomorrow thing. Okay, so it's going on tomorrow. Gotcha. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. I think I was watching something on YouTube the other day, and by the end of this year, I think there's going to be 2 more countries in the world potentially. So we'll blow that up, blow him up, and take out this guy. And Andre says, perfect pronunciation. Oh wait, Toast Boy. And Paradise says, I lucked into a 955 headpiece drop from Greater Invasion last night. Did you really, Paradise? That's insane. Congrats on that. The highest I've seen someone ever get was like 950 with a socket. And it stings a little bit when you see someone get a 950 with a socket and then you get nothing, even with a coin, you know, the use of a coin or whatnot. So, congrats on that, though. That's actually really nice. So you're pretty much set for your headpiece for the rest of the expansion. So, congrats on that. I think actually I want to say maybe Mythic Taurus, if I'm saying that right. It's gonna have what, 960? I guess I can look that up real quick. Let's see, raids, Legion, on Taurus. Let's switch it to Mythic here. So the first boss is gonna drop, yeah, 960, and that means probably Argus. It's gonna drop 970. That's insane. Wow. That is some powerful gear there. I'm surprised they didn't allow it to proc to 1,000, just for the sake of, you know, having that number there. I would imagine if it's Mythic, it's probably going to be able to proc to what, 985-ish maybe. And then Jennifer says, oh, and she's using the Brewmaster title, and of course she's a fan of Masters of Brew. Yes, and I think she does have that theme going on quite well herself. That's funny, both of you were on the same page though. Alright, so let's go ahead and... How many more of these? We need 3 more of these mains. Alright. And Emporio says, hey guys, anyone else have a problem with the low tiny plates? I haven't had an issue, Emporio. Welcome back to the stream, by the way. Mine seems to be loading as it normally does, so I haven't had too much of an issue. Is yours doing something weird, or is it just not loading at all? Jennifer says, scratch Paradin. Yeah, Paradin, I think, unless you're a Mythic Raider, I think you are just about set for the rest of the expansion as far as your headpiece goes. Alright, so let's blow this guy up. And Fabio says, I think it will be troubled waters either way with the way the reference. Yeah, it seems like, you know, that never goes, you know, by the books. There's always a little bit of military force, and I think a little bit of military force has already been used in Spain. So hopefully that goes without too much conflict. All right, so with that, we'll go ahead and rally these guys. Now, with these guys, you also get your poachers, so kind of watch out for that. Sometimes it takes them a minute, or not a minute, but you know, a couple seconds to spawn, so just be careful of that. Oh, you actually have to target them, so. It only says there's, yes, California group trying to get California to leave the U.S. Head guy has major ties with the Russians. No joke. Russia starting the the first world troll war. There we go, if I can speak. Yeah, I've heard there's a little bit going on as far as like the, what do you want to call it? The YouTube account. I did hear a little bit about that as well. And, you know, it is what it is. It's one of those things that it's always going to happen. And to be honest, I don't know if you can say it's I don't know. There's money to be had when you have an account with, you know, 200,000 followers, and if you think about it, whether you're right or left side, if you're, you know, echoing the same thing that you're hearing everywhere, I think there's a little bit of money involved. So whether this is coming just naturally from individual people wanting to capitalize on people's opinions, or if it's, you know, orchestrated, it would be hard to, what do you want to call that, pinpoint that. But yeah, for the US, I would be extremely surprised if anything like that gained a lot of ground. You know, I don't know, there's a lot there's a lot involved with that, and I just don't see a state gaining independence from the US. Especially California. Alright, so let's go ahead and light this guy up. Fabio says, yep, let's hope it goes smoothly as possible. Like you're leveling. You know, Fabio, I don't know. This is my 9th attempt, so maybe those guys need a couple more attempts before they can get it down smoothly. That is kind of funny, though. Hopefully, we've worked out all the bugs. We'll make it smoothly through, what do you want to call it, Outland this time. We are going to go outside the normal realm, you know, of leveling, just because when we leveled the last time, we made it all the way into the Blasted Lands, but we barely had enough questing to get us up to 58. So I think in leaving Thousand Needles early, that hurt us quite a bit. So I think next time, or this time actually, we're going to go straight through and see if we can knock out all, if not most of Thousand Needles. There's the boat quest that I was nervous about, but there's been quite a few people actually told me they had success with that, so we'll give it a shot. The other thing that I'm kind of nervous about is the little mini bosses where you run around on top of the spires, so hopefully those guys won't blow us up too easily. We might skip the very last guy though. I don't know. I think he does kind of gate the questing, so we'll see how it goes. The good thing about the last guy is that he's on a ledge, so if it goes south, we'll just kind of abandon ship, jump off the ledge, and take off from there. We're going to rally 10 little dragons here, and on this side, in this area, there's a treant. I think I'm saying that wrong, but we'll call it a treant for now. That's a rare spawn, so we'll see if we can catch up with him. Oh, wrong quest item. There we go. And there's our poacher. And then Guru says, is it hard to get that mount? No, Guru, especially now. You know, I would say if you have like a 910 level, you can pretty much easily get into any sort of a normal Golden kill. And just, you know, sit in and take it from there, and you get your pet. I don't know if you have to have, you know, completed your, what do we call it, your Nightfall and Quest series. I still don't know whether that's essential or not, but for me, I had already had it knocked out when I did kill Golden. But as far as just the kill, no, it's not hard at all. You just have to do it on normal or higher difficulty. Asman says, hey, what's going on, Asman? Welcome back to the channel. How's your morning going? But yeah, like I said, hopefully those guys in California calm down, and then the guys in another poacher, the guys in Spain, whether or not they get their independence or not, hopefully everything goes down and nobody gets hurt. I think that's the biggest thing. Alright, so let's go ahead and free this guy. Just standing around hoping a poacher doesn't hit us. Okay, we're good. There's been a couple times that, you know, we've freed one of these guys and then we immediately got into combat with something that was nearby, and you know, then we had a poacher and that thing we engaged with. So I am trying to give it a little bit of time before, what do we call it, you know, engaging those other mobs. But we are looking for a treant here. They kind of look pretty similar. I think the one we're looking for has yellow leaves, maybe? I don't know. He kind of patrols a wide little area here, so we'll see how that works. But Asman, how's your morning going? We are just about, I would say about 60% into level 40 here. Today's going to be a 3-hour stream, just because, like I said earlier, I have a study group, and that's going to take a good portion of my day. Plus I have to be ready for it, so I'm not the most ignorant one there. So let's go ahead and, I think we can leave that guy alone. We'll go ahead and rally this little guy here. Alright, looks like no poacher, so we're good there. And we'll rally this one over here, I suppose. Just kind of hovering over everything just in case we may have missed them. I don't think we have. This is kind of close to the horde base, so you know, I wouldn't be surprised if someone's already come through here and killed them off. Waiting for a poacher. None. We're good there. And we're going to avoid this guy, and then we'll rally this one. And I think we have to kill 6 ogres after this. So yeah, we're good here, it looks like. Yeah, I think the one that we're looking for has yellow leaves. I might be off with that though. Alright, so with that, yeah, Relax says, I hate living in Australia because for you it's morning, but for me it's night. Yeah, I have to say, especially in my morning streams, I get a lot more viewers from, say, Australia, Europe, just because with it being early in the morning Eastern Standard Time, it's especially early for everyone else in the US, especially if you start working your way toward you know, the West Coast. I think it's 3 a.m. for those guys, so yeah, but I like it, you know, it actually is kind of nice in the sense that you get differing opinions throughout the world. I do like the little community we've set up here, so I like that aspect of it. Let's go ahead and drain the rest of his health though, that way we don't... There we go. And then Neil says, morning Q. Good morning Neil. Welcome back. How are you doing? Revac says, oh, as far as hating living in Australia, I thought you said leveling at first, but living in Australia. I've heard that the internet in Australia used to be pretty bad. I don't know if it still is, as far as like, you know, having monopolies going on with it. Is that still the case, Revax, or are you guys kind of broken out of that a little bit? I think we've been moving into that a little bit as far as the US goes. There's a handful of telecommunication companies and they pretty much have all of the cards just about. But I know you guys were in a much, what do you want to call it, dire situation? Much more dire situation with like 6 meg download speeds. I don't know if we're just getting sensationalized news over here, but I did remember hearing those numbers. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and switch to the water strider just so we can get across. Ika says the race is really fun. I hope there will be more like this in the future. Iku, well, thank you, Iku. I appreciate that. And like I said, this has been Keithy's event, so yeah, this has been a ton of fun. I've enjoyed switching to the Warlock and giving it a shot, just kind of getting a comparison between the Warlock and the Hunter. I think, like I said, we're going. Oh, there he is. He has not yellow leaves, but no leaves. Okay. Yeah, I think when we do this again, it's going to be November, December time. We're going to do it with Paladins, and I'll probably lead this event this time, and we'll try to figure out what kind of charity we'll sponsor, and just kind of take it from there. But how's that look? That's kind of basic, but yeah, no, this is something I've really enjoyed. I'm glad that we did this. Glad I was able to stumble across Keithy's in his channel and pick this up. But I think in November, I would prefer December, but I have to check with WoW challenges, make sure there's nothing lined up on a schedule. But yeah, I think Paladins would be something pretty good to do. I'm just going to cut across here, make sure we're not getting too close to the Horde base. And I'm going to just run by this guy. Alright, there we go. This on that shit. Really, it still is. Hence why my stream quality has been choppy, as I have very low upload speed. Yeah, upload speed's pretty, like you said, pretty key when it comes to streaming. But is it still like that countrywide, or is it just, you know, more or less that manner of or that experience in the country of out in the country, should I say, in the outback? Because surely they can't have all of Sydney at that level. Oh, ran into a trap. Alright, so let's see if we can cut through here without having to drop for combat too often. I did finally, like I said earlier, I did finally manage to macro my stone form into my hellstone, so we use that every time. That might have been a bad call. We're down to 70%. Let's go ahead and run this way. And turn in all these quests, and I think the follow-up will be to kill these bugs over here, all 20 of them, plus a named mob. He says, hello Kyun, good morning Nikki, how are you doing? How's everything on your end? Alright, so that's that. We'll grab the more expensive of the two here. We are just about, well, we'll see here in a second. Accept that. And there we go, level 41. So moving along. Yeah, and this is the part. Let's see. No, we're not killing the bugs just yet. We need to knock out the Alpha Strike and then these two. So, we did kill quite a few rares this morning. In Fairless in general, I would say once you've killed a rare, if you're spending more, or sorry, less than maybe 3 hours, I wouldn't consider, or you know, invest too much time in looking for the rares again. The spawn timers start to get such that it's pretty difficult to kill them twice, you know, in the same leveling session. The spawn timer is pretty long. But we're going to see if we can kill these guys first real quick and move that way. You know, Walker says we have this new thing called NBN, National Broadcast or Broadband Network, but it's not in my area. Yeah, and you know, there's instances in the U.S. I'll kind of give a case in point. I know some people in North Carolina who live in North Carolina where they are kind of out in the country a little bit, and you know, Comcast is really the big company here. You know, there's a couple others, but I forget who owns who as far as all the mergers go. But anyway, that's not the spell I wanted to hit. There we go. Comcast is wanting, our people are wanting high-speed internet. So that being said, they don't, at this point in time they only have satellite, and satellite comes with data caps as many of the other plans come with data caps here now. But satellite has data caps and they're very expensive, so people are wanting cable here. And in order to place down the cable, Comcast is trying to charge all the occupants of the neighborhood upwards of near $4,000 to $5,000 to put down the cable, and that's not for the whole neighborhood. That's $4,000 or $5,000 per person. So, yeah, it's a little ridiculous here as well. To say the least, should I say? There we go. Paradin says, "Have you bought your BlizzCon virtual ticket yet?" Paradin, I have not. I've been slacking way too much. Actually, for lack of better excuses, I've been trying to focus on the schoolwork a little bit and just haven't had a chance to do that yet. And then every time I do sit down and play the game, I haven't even thought about it. So I will have the mount by the end of today. That is, I think I'm running out of time. I'll have to double check. I think I'm running out of time to get that little mount. Might be. It's available up until November, right? Or is BlizzCon before that? Let me look. I could probably answer my own question, actually. Let's see. It's not announcing it on Battle.net. Alright, so with that, we have all the alpha guys that we need. We're going to see if we can run off the ledge here and glide down. So once again, as a warlock, just be very careful in doing this. Unlike a hunter, it's not going to be an instant cast to get your pet back, so there we go. All that just to get to the ogre area. Let's see if we can outrun everything. Just in the effort of the race and to keep things up at the or keep things competitive as much as possible. Even on the last day, we're just going to run and break all of the normal rules that we have. So we're going to skip through here, avoid these guys, and then run back into the ogre camp. What do we need to kill? Kill 6 of the tamers and then the giant yeti there. So the yeti can hit like a truck. He did as a hunter, but I think the last time we did him as a warlock, he didn't hit that hard. So we'll see what he does this time around. Try to stay away from that. There we go. There is a rare that kind of patrols through here, but I've never seen it in the 7 or 8 times I've been out here. And I have no interest in going in that direction just because I don't want to encounter any sort of horde. Nikki says, just woke up. Very nice, Nikki. How's your weekend going if you just woke up then? It's a little bit of a late morning for you. Oops, let's go ahead and kill this guy. Paradin says, what's for breakfast, Q? Very nice, Paradin. Oh, let's see, that's a good question. I think we'll do eggs and bacon this morning. I think that's, that might be in order for this morning. What about yourself? What's for, well, I guess if you're still in Europe, what's for lunch? Jennifer says, and my Warlock's Ironman journey has now ended. Got too close to a Twilight Hammer disciple while on the surveillance quest. And I got my... Oh, Jennifer. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, you did get to level 20, so that's not bad. Is this going to be the end of your Ironman adventure until November or December? Then Nikki says... You can still buy the ticket. Okay. I'll do that today. That way I stop procrastinating. I kind of like the mounts, to be honest. The little tiny ships that go everywhere. I kind of like those. Let's see. Welcome says, I'm having a KFC for dinner. You know, when you say that, in living in the Philippines for a little bit of time, one of the biggest things I miss was, the KFC, just because for whatever reason I enjoyed the chicken there a little bit more, but also they gave you rice and gravy instead of, I don't even know what they give you here, but the rice and gravy was really good and went really well with the chicken. I kind of missed that. What says, I heard KFC in America doesn't serve chips only. I'm just not sure if that's true or not. I have no idea, Walkman. I haven't eaten KFC since I've come back from the Philippines. I want to say maybe it's, I'm trying to think now. If they did, KFC just does chicken here, I think. So if they did burger, it makes sense that they had fries, but that might be, like you said, just like potato wedges. Jennifer says, probably, and if we're doing pallies, I might not a fan of pallies. Oh, Jennifer, really? Have you tried one before, or are you just kind of not a fan of the class fantasy? Right, so we'll blow up this guy. Paradis says, I have a light lunch today as I'm having takeout curry tonight. Birthday treat. Very nice. Is the spicy curry, or is it kind of tamed down a little bit for you? I do have this debuff. Alright, we're good. There says, I tried one, didn't get too far with it. Paladins are super strong, and Walker says paladins are super strong in PvP. Even now, is it as a DPS or is it as all specs, Walkman? Let's go ahead and nuke this guy. There we go. If it's DPS, I might try to give that a shot. I want to say my 2 paladins that I have are both prot. And I might try to introduce those guys to Argus today. I'm not sure. So we're just about at 100%. I think that's close enough to get us a hit off this guy. and then we'll send Sam that way, just so we don't get hit. Yeah, we'll see if we can get another 3-second cast off here. Since he is a named mob, he can respawn kind of fast sometimes, so I think in an effort to make this a little bit more expedited, we'll just hearth out of here. Well, it says off specs. Really? That's surprising. Usually, there's only one go-to spec when it comes to PvP. It says Holy Paladin won't go down. You can hit them all day long. I think that's something Paladins have almost always been strong at. I know they're in the early leveling, early levels. Paladins, prop Paladins hit like trucks. That little shield thing that they have is pretty hard to get away from. Plus, it has a silencing aspect to it as well. So, I know those early leveling days of a prop Paladin can be pretty good for them as far as PvP goes. Nikki says potato wedges and or okay, so KFC does either potato wedges or mashed potatoes, evidently. Walkman. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think they did fries. And Neil says I have a ret over strong PvE. Really? I didn't know. I know the DK is looking pretty good as far as damage output these days, but I haven't heard anything as far as ret. I assumed if it was quiet, they weren't doing great, but it doesn't seem to be the case actually. Alright, so with that, we'll go ahead and fly to the next area here. There we go. Nick says my pally tank is pretty strong. Yeah, I think with my two pallies, like I said, both are prot, but both are like, one doesn't have its what do we call it, artifact. It's just one of those that I leveled up for professions, and the other one does, but the artifact's probably, I don't know, level 16. So not something I've played as much at all. And that paladin might be item level 800-ish. So I think he would benefit pretty significantly if I took him to Argus, actually. I might do that today. We'll see. I got a lot to do today, actually. Neo says, not max yet. Middle of the pack, I think. At M plus or melee plus. Yeah, I think you know, I don't know actually. Sometimes I don't put too much value in the DPS meters just because, you know, I don't really get the 9 times out of 10 I don't get the level of gear that they gauge those guys on, so it doesn't necessarily apply to me all too much, but I think for the most part the DK is doing pretty good, generally speaking. Alright, so with that, we're good. The only bad thing about it, only really complaint I have as far as melee goes is that they're slow. You know, they just physically move around pretty slow. Of course, you have the boots to be able to get around that, but if you don't have the boots, then you know it's going to be a uphill fight the entire time. And I think that's more significant when it comes to, say, PvP, and then, you know, if you have a tank such as your warrior or your demon hunter where they move around a lot and can move around very quickly, you know, you can spend a lot of your fight just chasing the tank around. Alright, so with that, which is pretty significant when it comes to your Mythic Plus fights too sometimes. Let's go ahead and nuke this guy. Is there a rare here? No, but we do need that guy's stinger. And Paradin says, need to take off Q. Won't see you until I'm in the US, so stay safe and speak with you next week. Alright, Paradin, you have a good rest of the day and then enjoy your final days in Europe. I'll catch you here next week. For those who are kind of new to the stream, we do take Sundays off, so we won't be streaming tomorrow, but we will be streaming Monday morning. So we'll get that back up and running. So we need, how many more of these? 16? Yeah. So the best way of killing this rare is just to, whoops, since we're on a hill, there we go. The best way of killing this rare is just to kind of stay in the area and kill these guys. it's almost easier to wait for the rare to randomly patrol near you than to, you know, go hunting for it, just because it can be a little bit of a time sink to try to get them. And I think he can patrol inside the little caves as well, actually. Alright, so that's 6 of that. Johnny says, with Argus, catch up is easy. Yeah, especially with 7.3. We, I just woke up. With 7.3, you can also get your 3rd relic without having to put too much effort into your, any effort, I guess. Just once you hit 110, you do have 3 relics available, which is really nice. That 3rd relic could be kind of tedious to get sometimes, especially when you consider having to wait an hour for your, you know, follower mission to take off. Nina says, Frost is good. I like Unholy, uber slow. You know, I still have yet to get my Unholy weapon. Probably should, just for if nothing else, all the little transmog weapon, or, you know, transmogs that it has. I think the... Ooh. Alright, we'll blow that up then. There we go. And then Jet says, hey Kieran, good morning Jet, how are you doing? I thought this was the rare spawn, but it's not. Girlfriend scared Sam, waking him up. That's funny. Old little cat. Alright. With that, let's go ahead and blow this up. We need how many more? 10 more of these guys. But yeah, Jeff, how's your morning going, by the way? I got completely distracted with the girlfriend waking up the cat. Let's go ahead and see if we can circle around here. Sometimes it'll sit at the entrance, so we'll take a look in here just to see if he's up, but yeah, to sit there and try to chase him down, not worth it. So we'll go ahead and go in this direction and blow this guy up over here. I think, whoops, I was gonna say, I think we can make it to 1,000 needles. This is pretty much the last series of quests, just about. I mean, actually I could answer that more definitely with the achievements here. So we're in Commodore. This is Fairless. Yeah, so this is quest 38 and we're on quest 39 and 40. So once we turn these 2 in, we'll get the achievement and then have that one quest to go west. And that'll be it. We might even get a chance to do the boat quest today. Hopefully that won't kill us. So Jeff says, just came home from archery practice and had a cup of coffee and lots of world quests to do. Very nice. I did manage to do the world quest and everything on Argus yesterday, so all for naught though. I think I was saying earlier, I've bought all of about 6 shoulders in an attempt to get one that's gonna proc higher than 915. No luck. Haven't got one to. I think I had 2 that procced at 915, so I don't know if it's just RNG or if they toned down the proc chance, but the first one first piece of gear I purchased was a relic. It procced to 935, and then, you know, I had a couple more procs at the 920, 925 level. But since then, it's been pretty much straightforward, all 910 gear for the most part. But I have to say, I would still kind of, you know, encourage people to do Argus if they need to get gear. It's probably an easier way than raiding at this point in time, just because I've managed to go from 9. I think when Argus started, I was 910, and now I'm at right about 935, so it's not bad at all. Still pretty good to get that gear. Alright, so let's go ahead and drain this health. There we go. And let's see, we need one more stinger here. That'll work. Chest says, still need the Gaussian Reach quest for my way to Exalted. Then I'm back for my last 2 PvP reps I need. You know what? In the 10+ years that I've been playing, I have yet to get exalted with Warsong Gulch or Arathi Basin. I should probably do that just to have that, but I have about 10 different characters that are exalted with the Alteric Valley rep, but that's about where it stops. Alright, so with that is the Fareless questing. And we have the Triads here. This kind of indicates that we need to go way over here to kill these guys, which is not the case. You can find quite a few of them in this area. So with that, I'm going to put that down and then fly over to the west coast. Alright, sorry, east coast. There we go. So Jet says, when Warsong brawls up, you can max it out in a day. Can you really? Wow. Alright. I might do that then. I was, there's a YouTube video, I think it popped up 2 or 3 days ago with Ian Hausakostas talking about, you know, the recent year in Warcraft. And one of the things he mentioned was that there's an arena holiday where you have more people in an arena than you normally do. I don't know anything about that, but that kind of sounds like a lot of fun. I don't know if it means there's more than 2 teams or if there's just randomly added, what do you want to call it? Randomly added players to a team. But that sounded like a lot of fun. I'm gonna have to kind of wait till, you know, that holiday pops up and give that a shot. Alright, so with that, we have all these guys we need to kill. We're not gonna mess with them just yet. I'm gonna see if we can kill these centaur looking things. I want to say they were right around this area. Yep, there we go. The reason we don't want to go onto the road at this point in time is just because the amount of horde patrols there is a little outrageous. You don't want to kill yourself for no reason here. We are on the last leg of the zone, and it's pretty much a quest series to introduce you into Thousand Needles anyway, so it's not too much of a, what do you want to call it? I don't know, a reason to go north of here and risk that. So let's go ahead and kill this guy. Neil says, okay, what will I miss out on if I use a boost? Neil, pretty much 100 levels of questing, pretty much. Let's see. I can't think of anything, you know, specific, unless maybe you might lose out on a couple transmog items if you haven't done all the questing yet, or if you haven't done any sort of zones. Questing does give okay amount of gold, so I don't know where you're standing as far as gold goes though, but I would say you would make that up for the most part if you level from 100 to 110. So I'd say if there's a class you're wanting to have at max level, go ahead and use it. Alright, so we need 5 more of these guys. Let's move this direction. I think we should be able to get all 8. I think we did get all 8 in one pass without having to make it too close to the road last time. So we'll try to do that this time and see what happens. But Jep says, yep, 10 caps per battle, so approximately 1500 rep per 15 minutes. That's not bad, man. Alright. So I have more work to do on my DK than I thought I did. Jeff was saying that you can max out your Warsong rep in a day. Yeah, that's kind of nice. Might have to do that. Alright. Let's see. Jeff says, finally enough, AV is the slowest one max out now because nobody plays AV anymore, so queue times are horrible. Yeah, that, and I've heard that, you know, the odds of whether you're Alliance or Horde, you're almost guaranteed to, I want to say, lose the AV if you're Alliance. I think Horde has the dominant win ratio in AV. I might be wrong, but I think Horde has it right now. Alright, so there we go. And last one is right here. But yeah, think the cap right now is prestige. The prestige cap, should I say? I think is level 21. So I do want to max that out before the end of Legion. Man, that guy is getting further and further away. There we go. Alright, so with that, we have one more quest to... I'll come back and turn this in rather than, trying to run back and forth through the zone. We'll just, once we go into Thousand Needles, we'll come back, fly back here, turn in that quest, and then fly back to where we just came from. So we'll go ahead and just hold on to the completion right now. John says, if you're Horde, you can always, I'll do the Merciless for faster queues. Oh, that's a good point. I forgot they still did that. It's interesting that they've introduced that. I know to a certain extent they kind of have to, otherwise the queues for the Alliance are going to be hours on end. But that does kind of wreck the lore of the game to a certain extent. But at the same time, I think players prefer playability over lore 9 times out of 10. You know, given, what do you want to call it? Whoops, let's go ahead and blow that up. Kind of given the aspect of the lore that they're giving up. Alright, so there we go. Blow that up. And what says, remember the days when Horde and Alliance were a standstill in AV? I do. I do remember those days. I kind of miss them, to be honest. I did like the days long, almost week long AV battles. But you know, I think the reason I enjoyed PvP back then was it's much more, I don't know, for lack of better terms, Call of Duty-ish. You know, if when you engaged in PvP, you either blew someone up or you got blew up, and then you know you went to the graveyard and respawned and you did it again. Now it's just a lot more. I don't know. I wouldn't call it an epic battle just because, you know, it's slower. It's not necessarily more fun, should I say, but it's just slower. Everybody has a ton more health now. The attacks don't hit as hard as they used to in percentage base. So let's go ahead and turn this in. There we go. And I don't know. I think arenas are probably the main reason they do that, just because people don't have 10 and 15, 20-second arenas. But I do kind of miss that aspect of the PvP battles, of the battlegrounds, where you just go in, blow stuff up, die, and then, you know, pop back up and do it all again. Let's see. It says, well, really, how far are you along, Prestige Max? I am I am all of like Prestige 7 or 8, Jep, so I'm nowhere near. I do want to get to 21 before the end of this expansion, though, so you know, if I have to dedicate a month of gameplay to doing PvP content, I might have to do that, but I do want to get that 21 level. How far along are you, Jep? You seem like you're a little bit more into the PvP aspect than I am. Is it easier to get the prestige in arenas or battlegrounds? Because to be honest, typically I kind of enjoy the randomness of a battleground. In PvP, or sorry, in arenas, you either get guys in there who are like me, and it's just how many buttons can you press in the shortest amount of time, or you get guys in there who know exactly what they're doing. They know what the cooldowns of the other class look like. They have the add-ons to assist them in that, and you know, they just know how to utilize their cooldowns and mitigate the damage. So the skill set that you encounter in an arena is much more dramatic, and the effects of it are just that much stronger. Because a lot of times, if you have 1 or 2 very good players in a battleground, yeah, they can change the outcome, but generally speaking, it's an average of the player skill set as well as the player's skill and gear, I guess, to a certain level. So that's kind of why I enjoy the battlegrounds a little bit more. Chip says, no, I'm all about preps. Are you really? The PvP is necessary part of maxing reps, so therefore I do PvP. I'm nearly 2 prestige, so I don't get much prestige because I specifically sign up for a Wrathy Basin at the moment. Oh, so maybe there's not as much. I know you could get a significant amount if you at least did your daily PvP battleground. I don't think it's going to pop up on a lobby. Let me see. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I think if you did your random one, you get a little bit, but outside of that, not really. I think you get your significant prestige and excuse me, rewards from your RBGs nowadays. I might be wrong, but I want to say you get a pretty good amount from that, which is rightfully so. I mean, you have what, 10 to 15 players, and you know, you can, in some aspects, spend 20 minutes just to lose a battleground. So I guess it makes sense that the reward there is a little bit higher. So let's go ahead and turn this quest in, get ourselves situated, and all the hearthstones set for this location. And run in over here, turn this quest in. Jeff says, "Yeah, I reckon I should probably do that." Yeah, I need to do that as well. It's one of those things that I haven't been doing. I did for a little while, and I did a lot of the PvP dailies that you know where you take over a tower, and that generates a decent amount. Nothing groundbreaking by any means, but a decent amount. So I probably need to start doing that on a daily basis. What I really need is about 4 or 5 more hours in my day. Alright, so I think, yeah, we have to start the bar fight. Okay. Let's go ahead and set our hearthstone here. Make this our home. Then we'll buy a bottle of grog here. And then throw it at this one. Out of range. Okay. So we're good there. Turn this in, and then I think I saw another exclamation point somewhere on the map, I thought. Yeah. Okay, no, it's underneath us. Never mind. So that's set. We're done. We're good there. Before we get too far into this, we'll fly back to turn in that one quest we completed, because it does give us a decent amount of XP. So we'll fly to this location. Turn that in, and then we'll... I was going to say we'll hearth back, but we still have 7 minutes on that, so we'll just fly back. But yeah, PvP, I haven't been a huge fan since Wrath of the Lich King, but I might give it a shot now. We'll see in the near future. I definitely don't want to miss that window to get, say, Prestige 21, which I think is going to be the cap. It used to be Prestige 13 was going to be it, and then they bumped it up to 17, and now it's at 21, so maybe if there's a content drought, they'll bump it up to 25, but I doubt it. It seems like in the rumors and watching Ian Hazakostas, if I'm saying that right, they have things pretty well laid down as far as content and when it's coming out. So it seems like there's going to be a pretty significant announcement in BlizzCon regarding Warcraft. So I am kind of looking forward to that and seeing if we're going to get the new expansion, and I don't know, see what the next, you know, big villain is going to be. I think, let's see. Go ahead and put this up. There we go. Just since we're flying, for those who are new to the Ironman challenge, the Ironman race, the rules are on your right. For those who have been participating in the Warlocks for this month, Keithy's going to be announcing the final standing as far as who won what and all the leveling progress that's been made. I think he's going to announce that in Discord later today or early tomorrow. So, you know, if you guys have been a part of it, stay kind of close to Discord, and Keithy will be awarding, I think, 4 prizes total. So we'll see what that generates. But until we land, I'll keep the rules up here real quick. Yeah, after today, we'll keep going with the Warlock as far as we can. This is the highest I've ever gotten a Dwarf before. For those that are maybe interested, we have all white and a little bit of gray items. If for nothing else, we're going with a red transmog for this guy. I don't know why, just to say we've done it. But with that, I'm gonna put these rules back down. There is a link to everything in the description if you guys are interested, but we'll put that away for the time being. So with that, let's go ahead and I'm hoping by the end of this month we'll get a response from WoWchallenges.com to see when they're doing their next challenge, and you know, hopefully do our challenge in December. I think that way it gives enough time for everybody to rest, and there we go. What is this quest? Okay, so it has us go over here, which we are not going anywhere near that road, so I'm going to take this quest and abandon it, because we're not going to do that. And then off we go back to 1,000 Needles. So while we're doing that, we'll go ahead and clean up our quest log a little bit. We're not going to do Dire Maul, so we'll abandon that. Let's see, we're not going to do anything in Stone Talon Mountains. Definitely not for 250 rep there, RXP. Not going to Stranglethorn Vale for 45 XP. So there we go, 1,000 Needles. Warcraft says, I think the Ironman challenge for Paladins would be cool. I'd roll one, which I haven't done yet. I think so too. I think I'm gonna do a Drawn Eye though. I might have to go ahead and start making my characters now, but yeah, I think I'm gonna do a Drawn Eye Paladin, just to get that little bit of extra heal. It has a 2-minute cooldown, but that might not be a bad idea to roll a Horde, because that'd be a good chance to have that stun effect. If we did Tauren, or we can do it. We do have a silence if we roll a Blood Elf, so I guess that's actually not a bad possibility. Rolling a Blood Elf, a little cliche, but still, it's kind of hard to beat a silencing ability. Let's see. As far as the Ironman challenge after that, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I think we might reserve the Druid for when I give the Night Elf melee class a shot, or melee attempt a shot, just because we have, just for the reason so that we have something to say compared to the Hunter. I guess that's the engineering side of me coming out, but I don't know. I still kind of have the opinion that it's a question of speed rather than ease, because once we've kind of understood how the Warlock DPS applies, we've kind of adjusted to it. You know, when we started out, we did Affliction the first time, we did Affliction the second time, and the third and fourth time we've done Destruction, but we've adjusted to the style of the Warlock, so it's not been hard. I would say it's the same level of difficulty as the Hunter. It's just the fact that you know, we have a good idea of what's going to happen next. We have previous experience, previous deaths to help us along. So I still think it's a question of speed. So maybe a melee class will kind of change my opinion. But as of now, I think it's just speed over a question of speed over a question of ease, if that makes any sense. It says I play a Blood Elf Priest and the silence is a godsend. Yeah, it is. When I played Horde, I think my Blood Elf was nice. There we go. My Blood Elf was a DK. So what I meant to say was my DK was Blood Elf, and yeah, the silencing aspect of it was very nice, especially when you come across mobs that, as a tank. Back then I tanked quite a bit, so if you have a whole pack of mobs, you just silence the whole group, and that's almost priceless. That gives your healer a little bit of a chance to catch back up with you. Alright, so we need to work our way toward the little outhouse. So we do have a zone-wide buff where we can have unlimited breathing, and we're pretty much coming up on the second thing that's killed us here. I'd imagine we're coming up on that in near 30 minutes. Next 30 minutes. Alright, so we need to find a crowbar and utilize that. But there's a rare spawn. We might see if we can avoid them, but I don't think we can. If we cannot, we just pretty much have to run on top of them, nuke them down, and then hopefully we can survive that. Definitely can't run from them. We learned that the hard way. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and nuke this guy over here. And let's see. But yeah, I'm kind of getting excited to play the Horde side on the Ironman challenge anyway. That's why I think I might mix that up in between. When we get the 100 to 110, we'll go to the Horde side, just kind of give that a shot, fill it out, get a feel for that. But I think I'm still going to do it. Oops. Still do a Tauren, just because it's a Tauren. What's over there? Alright, so with that, go ahead and blow him up real quick. So we need a crowbar to drop off one of these guys so we can pry out whoever's trapped in the outhouse. Not dropping just yet. So I think if we can survive the rare today as well as getting on the ship with our pet, we should be alright for the most part. Should be. Like I said, the series of quests where you have to go through and kill the little bosses. There we go. The series of quests where you have to go through and kill the little bosses can get dangerous, so we'll just kind of take that in stride. If it gets too dangerous, we'll jump off and glide away. Okay. Yeah, it says there, slow heads up. Look cool. Oh, I saw. You talking about the Tauren, Neil? I have to say, they do have that appearance where they, since they're so big, they do look like they run slower than, say, your goblins or your gnomes, just because of the, I guess, the aesthetic of their run. Man, these guys are not dropping the crowbar. Huh? Yes. Did we already pick up the crowbar? Oh, we did actually. Okay, never mind. I didn't even see that drop into our bags. Okay. So we have that. We'll go over and free this guy real quick. Oops. Level 42. There we go. So we'll go up to the top. I think the next quest has us jump into a small boat and then run around, putting out fires as well as killing the other pirates. It's actually one of the more fun quests in the zone, to be honest. Yes, yes, yes. Tauren feels slow. They do. Kind of like the drone I do, I guess, to a certain extent, just because they, like I said, they're a little bit bigger of a class. But I do like that stun ability that they have. Alright, so with that, turn this in. Like I said, we should have a quest to jump in a boat here pretty soon. Yep. We don't take damage running through the fire, so that's kind of nice. Alright, so we'll talk to this guy. He should throw us in one real quick. This quest can be a little difficult to hit the fires, but once you get a feel for it, it's not too bad. Yeah, like that one we missed. You can't really tell where exactly, if it's the fire's located. So I lucked out with that, just randomly putting them out right here. There we go. Alright, so we have that one taken care of. That's 7 of 8. Yeah, sometimes you can't tell if the fire's on the ledge or on the dock behind it. Yeah, that's kind of hard to get to. Okay. 10. Can't quite get that. There we go. 11. And then, okay, so they're also on the side of the ball here. That's not bad. So it's 15. We'll turn that in. Then we have pirates to kill. Let's see if we can get all 15 in a row here. Will says, I'm gonna vote. Good morning, Will. How are you doing? That's funny. That's a pretty good opener there. How's your morning going? You timed that one perfect. Alright, so with that, we'll drop this off. And there we go, 15. So to leave the vehicle, we'll jump off, and there we go. And this is, but if you get holy power also, I had to reread that one, grants 1 holy power. Do you really? Is that just through its, what do you want to call it? Arcane Torrent, or how do they get the extra holy power? I think it's up here. Will says, doing great. Good to see you alive and well. You too, Will. Here's we are all the way at, I think we just hit 42 actually. Whoops, let's go over here. So yeah, we're doing real well. Had to. Alright, so I'm gonna throw this away as soon as we get it, just because we're not gonna use it or need it. There we go. And then we'll turn in this quest up here. But yeah, we're doing pretty good so far. We have a couple major hurdles for this zone. One being the rare spawn that's in this corner right here. And then jumping onto the boats and overcoming the bug with regards to the pet. And then that one quest where we have a bunch of bosses. So I don't think we'll make it to the quest where we have, you know, the 3 or 4, maybe 5 bosses, but I think we can knock out the first 2 dangers first. Or, not first, but in this stream. So we'll jump on the Water Strider, which is a huge time saver for this zone. And make our way out here. And then Neo says, racial. Really? That's interesting. I didn't know they had that capability. Maybe the Blood Elf would be a good paladin to start off with. What's that? And let's see. Go ahead and turn this in. We have 2 quests to turn in, and yep, he's up. So that's him. Alright, so before we're turning this quest, pick up the 2 follow-ups, but I'm gonna see if there's a way to avoid them altogether. Let's go way over here actually. Yeah, I don't think we necessarily need to mess with him. It looks like he's a little bit further from the tunnel than I thought he would be. So just to kind of keep things safe, we're going to leave him alone. I think that might be the easiest thing to do actually. So we'll go around the perimeter, kill the bugs that are along the outside here, and then just kind of work our way into that cave as we need it. I don't think we need to. I am going to mark him just so I have an idea where he's at. I think he's already marked. Yeah, he is. Okay. Alright, so we'll nuke this guy and then have this little gnome towed in. Yeah, because so for this guy, here's my 2 experiences with him. One, we started the first time we fought him is we started at a 40-yard range just to see if we could, you know, use that to our benefit. Because at the time I had assumed that he was, oops, that he was going to just, you know, swim up and attack us. So we were 40 yards above him. And then come to find out he bugged out. So he had a range attack that he used to kill us. And even though we probably swam, I'm going to estimate 60 yards. We were about 60 yards away from him. Still, he was attacking us from that range. So he does have a pretty ridiculous range. I don't know what the max is, but it's more so than we can swim away with the health, or swim out of the range of with the health we have. And then the last time we fought him, we did kill him, but you pretty much have to stand right on top of him in order to make that happen, or make that work. So just to avoid the whole situation, I think we're going to see if we can just avoid him this time. So that, see if we can take care of this guy. And see, like, this one swims, so I don't know why the rare wouldn't. Alright, so we're good there. And let's see. We have all the goop that we need. We just need to turn these guys in. Our tow them in, should I say. I think we need 10? Okay. So we just stay out of range of these guys for the most part. Now, yeah, like I said, I think the follow-up quest just has us go into the cave. We might not even, oops, need to mess with them at all. King Tim says, good morning, King Tim. How are you doing? How's your morning going? We are trying to avoid and survive a rare without even having to encounter them. And Jordan says, hi, I'm back. Had to do housework. All good, Jordan. Welcome back, by the way. Going to keep going around in a circle here, just to avoid these mobs on the ground. That way we don't even have to deal with our first danger at all. I think we should go ahead and nuke this guy. Alright, so let's go ahead and see if we can grab this without aggroing anything. Alright, so we're good there. The boat is in this direction. I'm just going to swim to the surface and then run across. That way there's absolutely no risk of aggroing the rare. It's one of the few times. If Jennifer's still here, I think she'd be proud. One of the few times I haven't killed a rare. Jennifer and AH, I believe, actually. Here it says, man, water resources are turning into my bane on my main. Nice. I think I have 505,000 resources on my DK at the moment. I have no idea what to do with them other than maybe turn them into resources for the ults. But yeah. Alright, so with that, I'm going to run across the surface and then swim down near the wall back here. King says, I'm good, just fighting a sinus infection. Are you? Wow. It's I think it's what, less than a week into fall? Not a good sign, King Tim. How are you doing, by the way? Outside of the sinus infection. I don't think I've seen you in a couple of days. Alright, so we'll blow this one up. There we go. And sometimes this one will bug out, so you might need to stay on top of it, but other times it... Oh, never mind. I worked... Yeah, it bugged out. Okay. Let's stand on top of it, see if we can get Sam to take care of it. And yeah, still bugging. Okay. Our health isn't going down. And I'm going to put Sam on passive and then defensive. Let's see if we can do it this way. We'll just get our health back up. Neen says, hey Kim, what's going on, Neen? Good morning. How are you doing? Welcome back. Says, I'm sick. It is the weekend, and then when you stream, I hit level 60 like an hour ago. Really? On the Warlock or the Hunter? Congrats on level 60. That's awesome. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna resummon Sam just in case we get stuck with more than one bug on us. We might be able to one-shot this guy. Alright, we're good there. We'll keep going. And then King says, nice water mount. Thanks, sir. We took me way too long in Pandaria to get it. I think I had to get exalted with Nat Pagel? Nate Pagel. Nate or Nat Pagel? Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and blow this one up. Sheriff says, I've told you, Kieran, I enjoyed those rare hunts. Let's see where they are. And Age is probably the one who prods you about it. Yeah, I think you're right about that, actually. I haven't seen AH in a little while, actually. I'm gonna see if what he's been up to. Probably stop by his channel shortly. Alright, so we need to kill this guy. Our pet's good. I'm gonna wait till we have two soul shards, which we're up there now. I do like the rare hunt as well, so sometimes I think if we were a hunter, we would have an easier time with that one. Just because, you know, we have the charmed. That's interesting. I forgot all about that. So our blue pad up. Hopefully he doesn't do. Oh, he just resets. Alright, so that's. Let's see if we can. We might be in perpetual combat. I think I remember reading about this. I'm going to see if I can get further away from him. Maybe line of sight him here. Yeah, we're going to see if we can do that. Because we're fresh out of soul shards. I did forget about that. He does have a charming effect. So you could kind of end up in a perpetual combat situation. So we're going to let our soul shards grow back a little bit. And blow up these pipes. I think we took care of this one. So we'll address that here in a second. And then Neen says, well, oh wow, very nice Neen. That's not bad at all. This one's still glowing as if we haven't done it yet. Alright, so we did do that one. And I think we're missing one over here maybe. So just trying to get the... Okay, so he's gonna... I'm gonna keep it like that. I'm gonna stay at max range and then send Sandman. Just so that we don't have to... There we go. Alright, so we have Soul Shard. There we go. So try to nuke this guy down as quickly as possible. And maybe get off a second Chaos Bolt if we have a chance. There we go. Not bad. Okay, we did it. And King says, our weather's been all over the place the past 2 weeks, but other than that, I've been gold farming. Really? How's the gold farming doing? What do you do for gold farming actually? So I'm going to use this quest item here. And all of a sudden he's going to follow us now. That's interesting. So yeah, I don't know why this little guy bugs out as much as he does, but here in about 10 seconds we're not going to have to worry about him. Okay. So with that, we're good. Make it back to the surface, and we're done with this little area entirely. Let me resummon Sam just in case. But yeah, I haven't done any gold farming in probably the past 2 months, maybe 3 months. I think I might start that up here next week because I've purchased quite a bit of WoW tokens, so my little stock of gold is starting to go down. But with that, we'll turn these two in. And we are done with this area. So, 1 of 3 danger zones in 1,000 Needles averted for now. Next one's going to be jumping up on these 3 ships and killing the guys. I don't know if we'll make it to that point in this. We might. Yeah, we might actually. We're just going to have to be a little bit careful in this pirate area. The patrols in there are pretty long, so, you know, what do you want to call it? the lay of where all the mobs are can change, you know, over the course of 3 minutes pretty easily. So we're trying to keep an eye on Sam here. Oh, alright. He's going to sleep again. Okay, so with that, let's see if we can sneak up there real quick. Because once we've knocked out all the quests up here, we have to talk to some voodoo guy who's going to have us go through and collect 3 pieces of their body parts, and then I guess we turn that in. But in doing that, with the hunter, I've had a hard time jumping up there without the pet despawning, or at least bugging out and not loading in at all. So everyone said as far as the Warlock goes, they haven't had an issue, so we'll give it a shot, see how it goes. As long as the pet doesn't run down the ship when we jump off, we should be okay. We'll open up with a Chaos Bolt. The little parrot doesn't hit too incredibly hard, so... Oh, that's interesting. There we go. There we go. And King says, right now I mainly use my tailor for bags, but my main one gets ore and blacksmithing with a little bit of transmog mount farm. You know, the tailor is pretty much what I generate most of my gold on. I think I have 10 or 12 guys that sit in the old garrison and just turn out the cloth that way. So yeah, that's actually a pretty decent way of making gold. I want to say some servers have the bags up to 2,500 gold. I think Khadgar and Ilaria, though, I don't see them too often above 15 to 1,800. So it's not as lucrative as much on Khadgar, but I think that's mainly because there's a lot of people who kind of have that tactic. The King says I'm also leveling some alts to hit all the professions, but yeah, the profession cooldown, especially the engineering ones where you're making the golem mount, those sell pretty nicely for the most part. Alright, so we don't have Chaos Bolt available just yet. I think on Khadgar the golem mount's going for about 90k. That's what it was last weekend anyway. Alright, that's done. I don't see... there we go. And then he says, I'm in Hellfire Peninsula. No, I'm just kidding. These mobs are so strong. They are. Definitely watch out for the ones in the little orc camp. That almost killed us twice. Not yesterday, but you know, when we were out there last time. So yeah, watch out for those guys. And as always, watch out for the Fel Reavers. Which I learned there's more than one. So I guess there's possibly up to, what, 4? I think that was the number last time we were out there, someone said. But there's definitely more than one that patrols through Hellfire. So, light that guy up, and light this one up as well. There we go. Yeah, the Chaos Bolt's starting to get to where if it didn't one shot before, you know, you could do one Chaos Bolt and then one Conflagrate, if that's how you say it, and then, you know, the mob would be done. But now we need even more spells, so it's starting to hit a little bit weaker than he used to, but which is expected. You know, we are at level 40, so that's right about the time we should be expecting this to happen. There we go. Safely at 100% health. Blow up this cannon. Blow up this guy over here. Because we need all of 3 more pirates slain. And 2 more cannons destroyed. So, knock that out real quick. And let's go ahead and knock out the patrol. More than anything, I know I've said this before, but more than anything, you want to knock out the patrols, when you get into a camp, they can make a situation go from manageable to a death trap pretty quick. So just kind of be careful of your patrolling mobs. There we go. So we're good there. That's 15, and then we just need to kill this one more. No, we don't. Actually, that's actually everything. And then there's going to be one mob inside this little prison camp. Yuri says, I'm making 100 DKs for X-Weave bags, Chattermore questline, and 5 different servers. Are you really, Yuri? That's insane. Is it really 100, or is that just a rough estimated number, for lack of better terms? Alright, collect 8. Sunken treasure chest. Alright, so with that, we'll hearth back to the ship, turn those in, go pick up the treasures, and then we'll have to come back here. But yeah, as far as the professions go, it's not too bad of a trade-off if if it doesn't take long for your computer to load up and pull you in game. It's not a bad venture. Sometimes my older computer would take upwards of near 20 or 30 seconds sometimes. But with this one, it's a pretty quick venture to switch characters. Alright. We definitely took a wrong turn and stuck with it for way too long there. There we go. So we'll turn in this quest. And I think that's it for that guy. And then this next turn in might give us a follow-up if I remember this area correctly. And there we go. Perfect. Here it says exactly 100. I have 2 accounts, 10 characters on each server. Jesus. That is quite the dedication. So how many DKs are you doing that on? I'm assuming you have to get them up to what, at least level 90? Or at least maybe 92, 93? Alright, so that's done. We can't pick up that next quest because maybe... Oh yeah, this quest has us go to Tanaris. And we can't get that till 43, I believe, so... we won't worry about that. I'm going to switch to the Water Strider though. And we'll go grab these sunken treasures real quick. Which I think he swims faster if you are not mounted. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and... we don't need to kill that. We should get rid of this guy though. He says, I wouldn't have that much time for that. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's a... I guess if you have 2 accounts, you could log 2 on at a time and do the same thing. If you could, multi-box it that way. But yeah, I'm just thinking logging in and out of 100 tunes every day. I don't know. I did it on 20 for probably a good 6 months and just kind of burned out. So that's why I haven't touched it in the past 2 months. But yeah, I could see that being pretty rough for 100 characters. Do you have an idea how much gold you're going to generate per day, Yuri, or you're just going to kind of wing it and see what happens? Let's go ahead and knock out this guy. I think he's going to give us access to about 3 different chests here. And Yuri says, I'm using dungeons for leveling. Recruited from bonus gives easy leveling. It does. That was actually a lot of fun. We were able to level, what, 3 characters? 3 characters? So yeah, that was a lot of fun. So just for the lore of the questing at the moment, we're picking up, I think, Fate Gold. And going to use that to bribe. It might be Fate Gold. It might be real gold, actually. I think Fate Gold is for the other leg of the quest. But we're going to use that to bribe the little ogres in the cave. So with that, we're good. We'll go turn this in and off we go. See if we can jump back on the surface real quick without landing on right in the middle of that little whirlwind. There we go. It says, speaking of hardware, would a solid state drive be a huge upgrade over a standard hard drive? I would say so, Neil, especially if you're logging in and out a lot, or you're going from one zone to another a lot. It helps more so with the loading speed of the game than anything else. It just kind of calls that data more quickly. Oops, let's get out of the way of that. But you know, it's just a function upgrade in that regard. I don't think, as far as graphics and all that other stuff similar to that, I don't think that's going to help it all too much. But as far as loading the games and everything associated with that, yeah, it'll definitely upgrade that. If I had this on a traditional hard drive or standard hard drive, I probably wouldn't do the style of farming with all the professions that I have. It's one of those things that if it's going to take you 20-30 seconds to log into each character, it's not worth spending 30 minutes of your day switching characters just to blow a cooldown. Alright, so let's go ahead and start off with Chaos Bolt. And here it says, I think it'll be 1K per character per day. 1K per character per day. That's not too bad, especially if you can do that in, I don't know how long it would take you to do 100 characters though. Trying to think. That would at least have to take you what, 30 minutes? Maybe 40 minutes, depending on how fast your computer is. Alright, so with that, we're good. And let's see if we can just make it to the little prison camp without killing too much here. Especially, when you're leveling and whatnot, and as you get into the upper levels being 40, it's not as advantageous as it once was to kill mobs like this, so try not to spend too much time doing it, but at the same time, XP is XP at the end of the day, so if you need to, you need to, and it's not a big deal. I'm going to open up with the Chaos Bolt for this one though. Then we'll just drain health, get back up to 100%. But yeah, Yuri, I would say if you can do that in less than 30 minutes, you'll be sitting pretty nicely for a long time. With that, we'll turn in this quest, and I think we need to go into the cave after this. So let's see. That's good there. And done. Okay. So at this point, this can be dangerous, especially if let's see, I guess we're gonna have to go. Especially if you try to go in there and kill the ogres, it's gonna be an uphill battle and pretty slow. Also, I think Minge was saying he died here when the mobs respawned before he got back out. So that being said, we do want to put this quest item on a toolbar, just so we have that available. Once you complete the quest, right here it's going to disappear. So there's a good chance that it's not going to be available right when you need it. So that's why we are putting it on our toolbar. Oops! I'm glad I saw this guy first. Alright, so we're good there. Let me resummon Sam just in case we do this incorrectly. Alright, he's bribed. Alright, so this is how it's going to work. I kind of like the fact that with Sam being on defensive, he's not rushing to the mob and having the mob get one, hit on him. There we go. Go ahead and take care of that guy as well. Pay him off. sure nothing's sneaking up behind us. Can we run into it? Oh, we can. Nice. We can run it through it, so that's kind of nice. Just in case. Better safe than sorry, I guess. And with that, we'll open up with a... I was going to say we'll open up with a Chaos Bolt, but we need to wait for our Soul Shard to come back. It's kind of interesting that it hasn't yet. There we go. So in waiting for the Soul Shards, we might get our Ogres respawning on us, but I'd rather have a full slot of, or full chance to get 2 Chaos Bolts on them than not have that opportunity. So with that, let's send in Sam. And let's see if we can get a dot on him before he jumps in. Nice. So the good thing with the Warlock is that he's has as much range as he does. Maybe we can get this Chaos Bolt off just in time. That being said, these guys can't really hit us with their fire. I haven't had them hit us yet, so I could be wrong, but I haven't had that problem yet. We can send Sam that way, I guess. Oops. Stay out of that, as well as that. Wow. I haven't had that happen before. Okay. So with that, we're good. I guess that's one of the things with the Warlock, is if the fight takes too long, which it normally does. I wouldn't say too long. It takes longer than it does with the Hunter. You encounter a lot more fight mechanics, so you just want to kind of be careful of that. And let's see. And he says you can use the item after you kill the boss. Yes, and but a lot of times, like as it is right in here, if you see it, there's no longer a quest item. So some people haven't realized that they still have access to the item. We have it on our toolbar, so that's allowed us to you know, to get these guys as they pop back up. But I could see where that would be confusing and easily cause death if you thought that you didn't have the quest item anymore and you try to take these guys on. You want to take the corners a little wide just in case they're popped up right there. Make sure that guy's not behind us, and we're good. We made it. And with that, we'll catch back up with chat. And he says, I did this, I killed the boss, not the entrance where respawns, but able to use the quest item. Yeah, and I think someone had died the other day because they didn't realize they had that quest item. And, alright, we tried. We're gonna have to blow this girl up. Okay. But yeah, no, thank you for that though. I know it's been a cause of death for Minge, I think. So we don't have anything there. We're still good. Everything's still dead, so that's nice. And with that, yeah, this is the part where we're eventually gonna have to kill this, or make our way to this guy in the back. And I want to say there's probably someone else here. I have a hard time believing that these mobs wouldn't have respawned yet. But at one point he's gonna have us go on 3 ships, and that's going to make things pretty interesting, maybe a little nerve-wracking at the same time. I've just had it bug out on the Hunter every single time, so I don't know if I have that to worry about. But it does kind of gate or prevent you from going to a large portion of the questing in this zone, so I think we're going to see if we can complete it for the most part. Alright, with that, we're good. And let's see if we can nuke this one. Neo says, any preference of solid state drive? I think the one I generally gravitate toward is Samsung, but you know, I'm sure there's someone out there who would have a different opinion, but generally mine have been Samsung. I haven't had an issue with them, but then again, I haven't had the computer for more than 6 months, so excuse me. So there's that to consider as well. And this is the first time I've actually had a solid state drive, so I think generally speaking they're better than your hard drives. I'd say better in the sense that, you know, your standard hard drives have a lot more moving parts, so a lot more opportunities to break, a lot more mechanics involved within the product, but you kind of trade off, what do you want to call it, durability for cost. The cost per the data you can save is many times higher for a solid state drive, especially if you compare it size to size. Alright, so let's go ahead and turn that in real quick. That is level 43. Very nice. Alright. And what do we need to do here? Yeah, he's already got us going into the ships. Okay, so here we go. This is going to be fun. I'm going to drop down just to make this quicker. Definitely not going to land on the ship. That would probably be a bad plan from the ground up. But I'm going to, there we go. Let's pull this guy up and Sam back. And I think we'll start out with this. Then King says, oh, the Mythic Dungeon Invitation finishes this weekend. Now, King, have you been watching that? I haven't seen the first one. I've been just way too busy to be able to sit down and watch other people play the Mythic Dungeons. Have you watched it at all? Neen says, I was afraid of this because the Elite Ogre, but I just did it. It's fine. Very nice, Neen. I think it almost got us as a hunter the first time, because I wasn't reading the quest and I didn't pick up that coin, or, you know, notice that it dropped into my bag. But no, once you use it, it's not bad at all though. Let me go ahead and, alright, so we have our Hellstones, we have our stone form. Let's see if we can we nuke the bird first and then pull the guy off the boat? No. Alright, so we're going to send in Sam first. Sam's going to be the sacrificial lamb here. Alright. Let's go ahead and timer begins, actually. And I think she's on this floor. She's just inside, so we probably don't have to run in and face pull her. But the timer does start, and it goes pretty quick. Oh no, she's down a level, I think. Okay. So we're going to build up our Chaos Bolt, or the Soul Shard, should I say. Ooh, nice. Face pull. Alright, so we'll get back up to 100%. And blow this guy up once again. I'm not going to heal Sam, just because, or res him again, should I say, just because we don't have the time to do that. But I'm going to get another Chaos Bolt off. There we go. So we'll loot that. We have the heart. So we need 2 more items. And we're going to get off the ship as quickly as possible. Excuse me. This part isn't, or that ship wasn't necessarily the dangerous one. It's the ones that you pop up on the edge. And with that, we're good here. And let's see. Actually, we'll do the water stride and catch back up with chat. King says, I've watched a few matches, Twitch TV, Warcraft, and oh, where do you watch it? Battle.net? Oh, Twitch TV. Okay. Yeah, for some odd reason, I've getting more and more requests to consider Twitch. So I don't know necessarily the reason why. I don't know if the game comes in more clearly on Twitch, or if people are just having a harder time engaging with chat on YouTube. But previously I said I was going to try to keep the quality of chat up as much as possible and stay on one platform. I am going to stay on YouTube, but whether or not we try Twitch or not, I haven't really decided yet. It's something I've been debating because I've actually gotten a lot more requests to trial streaming on Twitch here recently. So, all right. So this is the fun part with the hunter. Let's try that again. With the hunter, whenever we click on this ladder, we pop up and our pet bugs out. People have been saying with the Warlock they haven't been encountering those issues, so I want to pop up there. I shouldn't aggro anything. These guys are level 41. Let's see. Worst comes to worst, we'll jump off the boat. No, Sam's up there. And he's not bugged out, so that's alright. That's interesting. I wonder why the hunter pet bugs out then. That's really interesting. Okay. Well, if that's the case, we're good to go then. Alright, so with that, Blockman says Twitch has... Let's see, Twitch has a learning curve. Does it really? I did the dual stream once, but I didn't have any sort of interaction on Twitch side, but I only did it my first week, so I didn't have any interaction on YouTube side as well. So, Evolution says, it's just more access to a larger audience. People who are generally interested in stuff like this tend to stick with Twitch more. YouTube gamers that stream are typically considered a little more casual. I would agree with that, Evolution. That's kind of what I've noticed, is that I don't know if people would consider this hardcore or not. Maybe those that have experienced it might consider it that. Yep, Sam jumped off. Okay, perfect. But I mean, we could try dual streaming and see how that works out. I just want to make sure I keep the integrity of the chat as much as possible, because I do think we have a decent quality within chat. Chat flows pretty much. There we go. All right, we're good. Chat flows pretty smoothly without all the gambling games and the non-essential stuff. So I've enjoyed that aspect of the... Okay, I thought we pulled 2 mobs. I've enjoyed the aspect of chat, so if it seems like... Well, let me put it this way. Maybe midway through, or at the early portion of next month, which would be Monday, I guess, we can give dual streaming a shot. But if I notice that it starts to degrade the chat we have here on YouTube, I'll switch back to YouTube. But because... like I said, the chat we have here is pretty high quality for the most part. I don't see us having too many issues with people being obnoxious. The quality and the content, or the quality of the content of chat's pretty good as well. Let's go ahead and resummon Sam. But so yeah, I'm open for giving it a shot and at least streaming on both, and seeing where it progresses from there. I don't want to necessarily close doors before I've even experienced them. That was my biggest concern with streaming on two platforms, is degrading the quality of chat. So we inadvertently did use our Chaos Bolt because I was on autopilot while I talked. But we'll get one Chaos Bolt off right here. Alright, so with that we're good. And are we good? No, we're not. I thought we were. I think the other guy is... Oh, it might be further down actually. Huh. Alright, one sec. I just don't want to walk around the corner and there'd be 400 mobs waiting on me. Okay. Might be in the wrong part of the ship. Might also be following behind someone, so that's... If I was and that guy wasn't up... Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense. He's on top of the ship, laughing at us. Okay. But yeah, like I said, as far as trialing Twitch out, maybe we'll give it a shot. But if it looks like it's degrading chat, then we'll call it. But we are a shadow lock there, so go ahead and put a flame up. But that's kind of where I stand when it comes to streaming on multiple platforms. Alright, so with that, we're good here. We can run back up and turn this quest in. And that is 2 out of 3 crises averted in 1,000 needles here. The first one being the rare spawn. The third one's going to be pretty much when we're going from little spire to spire here, killing all the major bosses. Major or minor, whatever you want to call them, but the bosses. Alright, so that mob's not up yet. I don't think we'll make it to that point in the questing in this stream, but we'll probably end up doing it Monday. And that's blow that guy up. There we go. Let's see. Alright, so with that, let's see if we can work our way back up there without having to kill the entire fleet once again. But yeah, I think in having the pet on defensive like we have it, I might revert to that tactic on the hunter whenever we switch to that side. It just seems like that's been so much more beneficial than trying to manage a pet aggressively assisting you. If that makes any sense. You know, if we cast something and it hits a mob, then Sam's going to run over there and attack the mob. And if it's melee, you know, if the pet's melee, should I say, it's going to create a scenario where they just aggro more mobs. So I don't know if that's a good tactic with the hunter or not, but I think we might try to see if it is, just because it's worked so much better with the Warlock. Alright, so we're good there. Keep grinding our way through here. And we'll keep up with... We are caught up with chat, so we're doing pretty good. Let's see. We have a patrol coming up on us. Just check our back, make sure there's nothing sneaking up on us. A lot of times those patrols can... the short patrols, the ones that, you know, kind of just patrol back and forth in a small area, aren't too bad. It's pretty much essentially of having a giant mob stand there. But the ones that, you know, patrol from the north end to the south end of a camp, or east to west, or just over a long distance, are the ones that are more dangerous than anything else. Give you that false sense of security, should I say. Alright, so with that, we're good. And I think we're going to need to kill him just in case we fall off the hill here and aggro. Because I want to say there's another one right there. And he'll also get a Chaos Bolt. Lucky him. Okay. And with that, I think we're, like I said, we're pretty much smooth sailing, I think. Up until we get to the quest where we're assisting someone and killing a bunch of small bosses. Alright, we need to collect 10 carcasses, which are all throughout the water, so we'll knock that out real quick. Jump on a goblin glider. And no, we're not going to turn in the quest just yet. Grab these guys. Kind of makes you jump a little bit when you click on them and they start looking at you. Or at least the shells turn. Alright, so with that, let's just kind of randomly run around until we find another pack. I think there's 5 in each pack, and yeah, the seagulls kind of give them away. These seagulls will load before the turtles do, so... Oh, we didn't even have to dismount. That's nice. And we'll run back to the top. let's go ahead and put that away for a second. There we go. Fortunately, we were able to do that fast enough to where we didn't get the respawn, so that's kind of nice. Swing. Swing. I think that's the first time I've seen you this morning. Good morning. How are you doing? Does now start from scratch again and level Warlock for the challenge. Very nice. Yeah, I think with the race no longer, you know, applying to say in October, it's going to be almost easier to level just because you don't have that sensation to want to race toward the end. So I think it might make it a little bit more manageable for us. I hope anyway. Might have spoke too soon, but I'm hoping that's the case. Extract the soul from Mad. There's Turth, okay. So we're gonna have to run all the way back across the camp here. Is it getting cold? Whatever it was you were working on. It's ready?
It's ready.
Is it? Okay. Alright. Alright, so let's see. Let's go ahead and work our way. Where do we want to do it? We want to go this way. I think we need to grind all the way in this direction. Let's go ahead and see if we can knock that out real quick, actually. So we're going to... I think we've had a pretty good day for the most part. We've leveled from 40 to 43. So I don't think we've done that bad. I was hoping to make it to at least 44, but you know, with the fact that we had to fly back to Darnassus to get the training, that probably put us a little bit behind. But I think we've done pretty good for today anyway. I am running around without my pet though. There we go. And let's blow this guy up real quick. And we're going to set ourselves up for a decent startup on Monday. For those that are new to the channel, we do we do take off Sunday. We don't stream on Sundays, but we do stream 6 days out the week, almost every week. And let's just try to clear my way. Oh, I messed up. So let's go ahead and nuke this guy down real quick. And then we'll summon Sam, since he's almost dead. Manu says, did you die? What's going on, Manu? Good morning, how are you doing? Did you die? I thought your character was like 60. Yes, he was. We did die, I think about a week ago, at level 66 in the Grand. So yep, we were human at that. Yeah, we were human at that point in time. We've now switched to a dwarf just to see how far we can get. But I think 66 is gonna be our record for this race. I think once we try the paladin, or once we do the paladin race, we'll be able to get a lot further. And I'm hoping in doing a paladin, it's going to give a lot more people, or people a lot more, I guess, what do you want to call it, variety in leveling styles. I think there's been a lot of people who want to try to do the healing aspect, or maybe the prot aspect, because the downside with a Warlock is you can only do DPS, but you can only do, you can do DPS, but you can only do variations of DPS. So I think a lot of people are wanting to try different roles, for lack of better terms. Let's go ahead and see if we can hit this guy. And he says, oh, sad to hear, my monk died at level 61. Did it really, Manu? Oh, sorry to hear that. What caused your death? And he says, but nice to see. I appreciate that. Thank you for chiming in again today, by the way. The monk, I think the monk would be fun. I haven't seen Dalaran Gaming in a couple weeks just due to the fact that we are focusing on the Warlocks, but starting Monday, I'll have updates as far as how other people are doing and their progress, and we'll, go back to our normal YouTube updates and just kind of provide, what do you want to call it, a status update every morning as far as how other YouTubers are doing. So we'll switch back to that with regardless of what class people are saying. We took a break from that just because it was the Warlocks this month, but we'll definitely get back into that starting Monday. Let's go ahead and take care of him first. And we're good. See if we can work this guy down. Usually I try to kill the pets first, but these parrots really don't hit for too much, so let's see. And it says a very mean devil orc pack with enrage on low health. Oh, okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yep. Oh, sorry to hear that, Manu. That's rough. That is definitely a rough death there. It says, I think you'll enjoy the paladin. Also, maybe prot is nice. Yeah, I think Manu. I think I'm gonna try prot. I don't know if the, what do you want to call it, the DPS spec has as much healing power, but prot definitely has a very hard hit in the early levels. I think it kind of tapers off once you get into the upper levels, but I think it's gonna be pretty good, at least starting out and getting familiar with the zone. But yeah, I'm kind of leaning toward prot myself. Alright, so with that, let's go ahead and we have to kill him first, actually, because we have to use this little item on his corpse. Oh wow, he's got a lot of health. Alright, so with that, corpse down, we do that, and see if we can still aggro it to something. So I guess we'll just run back. Still aggro. Manu, thank you for the subscription. Once again, good morning. We are just toward the end of the stream here, getting ready to put this guy in a safe location. But let me make sure I'm not running into patrol here. Yeah, like I said, we are starting to get near the end of the stream. Breakfast has already been cooked, so I'm allowing it to get cold. We're going to wrap this up as quickly as possible and put ourselves in a safe location. I think we'll log out near the quest giver. It might be the safest spot. That way, if we do have a follow-up quest, we'll just jump off the hill and glide our way down, but it should put us in a pretty good position for Monday. When it says, I don't know if red is worth it while the slow two-hand and low defense. Yeah, that's kind of my thoughts as well, Manu. I'm more of a, I guess a prot leveler by nature, due to the fact that I usually level it as blood spec, as a DK. But yeah, I think I'm going to give the prot side a try. Manu says, have a nice day and good breakfast. Well, thank you, Manu. We will. And thank you for everyone for the subscriptions and likes this morning. I appreciate that very much. We're going to log out as soon as I can get in a safe spot, but try not to make this more dangerous than it needs to be. But like I said, we've done fairly well this morning. We're close to about 30% into the way into 43, and that'll put us in a good position for, say, Monday. We are getting to a portion of the month and semester where my midterms are coming up, so the schedule is going to be a little bit, not irregular, but it'll be scheduled out. It just won't be as many of the extended streams, and we'll have to figure out if we want to do extended streams versus maybe something in the afternoon. We'll just kind of play it by ear, but I'll have that schedule up and ready by Tuesday morning. That way everything will be in the description. Plus I need to update the description due to the Warlock challenge having ended today. So I think Keithy says if you're still leveling in the race or you still want to see how far you can get, he's not going to update anything until the end of today. So if you're just trying to squeeze in the last couple of levels, you're more than welcome to do so. Alright, so with that, we'll go ahead and kill this last guy, turn in the quest. And I think that's a safe spot to log out at. We won't log out next to him just in case he's, for some odd reason, aggressive when we first log in. I don't think he would be, but just in case. So with that, turn this quest, and that will be it. So let's park right here and sell some stuff. That way we can start tomorrow with fresh, clean bags. We did get quite a bit of cloth today, yeah? 104 of it. That's not bad. I don't see any transmog here, unfortunately. All that soulbound. Oops, we can sell that. So Neen says, "Have a nice day, Q, and good luck Monday. Then maybe we can see us, or maybe we see us next week." Alright, Neen. Well, you have a great rest of the day as well. Enjoy your morning and the rest of the afternoon. We did get a headpiece. Oh, look at that. That matches perfectly. Nice. Alright, so we have a headpiece. We'll set that aside. We have mystery meat. We'll throw that on the auction house. I kind of like that a little bit better, actually. Let's set that aside. And a lot of this stuff's soulbound. We didn't get too many BOE drops today, believe it or not. Maybe we'll luck out and get some red shoulders tomorrow or the next day. Alright, so with that, we have a bear flank. I guess we got from the previous zone. That's soulbound. We did get that. Very nice. And that's bind on equip as well. Nice, not bad at all. We did get a little bit of a transmog thing going on. So we'll sell that, we'll repair our gear, and then we will log out here. And I'll put the rules up just as a thing. But yep, guys, with that, we're gonna call it here for today. Like I said, I'm letting breakfast get cold, so we're going to call it right about the 3-hour mark, and pick up Monday morning. Like I said, if you're new to the channel, we do take Sundays off, so we'll pick up Monday. Look at that. We look like an official Warlock now. That's not bad looking. Alright. Alright, guys. Well, with that, that's enough goofing around for me. You guys have a great rest of the day, and great weekend, actually. So I will see you Monday morning, and Walkman says see you Monday, Q. Alright, Walkman. You and everyone else, you guys have a great rest of the day and weekend, and I will see you Monday. Alright, guys. Bye.